Like, my son asked me last night if there were Braille graphic novels. Now I'm curious. Advocates say there is no substitutes for Braille when it comes to the literacy and communication skills of the vision impaired. Nope. Not wrong. Not wrong at all. Braille is absolutely essential. Especially if you've gone blind as a child. You definitely need to be learning Braille. I even advocate for adults to try. It's harder for adults to learn Braille because your fingers have not been developed for the sensitivity of defining each different dot, figuring out where the positioning of each dot is to discern what letter it is. It's just not something you've done. It's kind of like developing calluses on your fingertips for playing guitar. That's kind of what I like in learning Braille too as an adult. But even then, it's very difficult for adults to learn Braille with their fingers. So this article is called Magic Touch, a revolutionary changes are making Braille better than ever. So this says Braille is nearly 2 centuries old. But rather than being supplanted by new technology, advocates say it's developing a new lease on life. Well, that's good. Because we need to keep Braille absolutely fresh. Like my oldest son has some issues, some learning issues, and he may need to go to using a computer soon. But I and his teachers and his dad all agree that he needs to learn how to write with a pen and pencil first. Just like as a blind kid, I needed to learn Braille with a Brailer and everything before I could just jump on a computer or jump on an electric Brailer. So this is all very important, and I think it's good that Braille is absolutely necessary. So blind from birth. Graham Innes can't remember the last time he sat down to read a book. A book in Braille. Instead, he listens to audiobooks. Yet, Innes, who is Australia's former Disability Discrimination Commissioner and Vision Australia's first chair, still uses Braille every day. That's, you know what, apart from reading Braille to my kids, I don't think I've read a Braille book for myself in quite a while. But I still use Braille every day with Braille screen input. Let's see. To seeing eyes, Braille reads like an indecipherable Morse code, invented by Louis Braille in 1824. The 64-character script, made up of a matrix of 6 dots, was developed as a means of efficient communication for blind people by the 2000s, however, the advance of technology led many to believe that Braille would become redundant. Teaching Braille declined, and many vision impaired young people did not learn it. That's a problem. And the scary thing is that in my province, there are so few teachers that teach Braille now. Like, there are so many blind kids and teenagers growing up that just go right to a computer with a screen reader now. It's fucking terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying to me. But Braille has had a revival during the past decade. Technologies such as refreshable Braille displays has made the script more portable and adaptable, and increasingly, Braille is being integrated into the community beyond books. For Braille advocates, there is no substitute for Braille, and when it relates to the literacy and communication skills of the vision impaired. No. There isn't. Like, I am faster typing in Braille on my phone than I am finding each letter on the spoken keyboard and doing it that way. It's way faster for me to just type in Braille. I would love to have a phone or it would be wicked if they somehow made a phone that, like, if you turned on the vision features, it would have a refreshable Braille display so you could, like, read your phone. That would be kick-ass. But then your phone would cost, like, $8,000. Hey, Sir Adamantin. Everything I do is based on Braille. Innes says, quote, I have an Apple Watch now that speaks to me, but I also always carry a Braille watch because I don't want the watch speaking to me in certain circumstances, such as when I'm asleep. That doesn't make any sense, dude. The watch doesn't speak to you. You can turn off the hourly announcements. You can also make it chime. That's a silly thing. Okay. Displaying the script by raising round-tipped pins up and down on a flat surface, a Braille display is about the size of an iPad. An iPad mini, but a bit thicker, Innes says. The device has been, quote, revolutionary. You get to a point in your career, and if you can't write notes in Braille and interact with those notes while also participating in meetings, you just can't keep progressing, Innes says. That's true. If you're always dealing with something that's talking, and you have to have earbuds in your ears so you're not being disruptive, you're going to miss important parts of conversation, important parts in information. It is necessary that you be able to write without having earbuds in. Lacking Braille skills is something Innes says is easily recognizable to those who are blind. With a noticeable difference in literacy, spelling, and punctuation skills of those who are Braille readers. Yup. You can tell the blind people who have never written and read Braille because they'll dictate and they'll just talk their dictated message and they don't have any punctuation anywhere. And when you call them out on it, they're like, well, I was just dictating. And you're like, so speak the punctuation. It'll put it in there. It won't write the word out. It'll put in the punctuation. And they're like, well, I don't know where the punctuation goes. I've never read Braille. And it's like, okay, that's bad. Complementary, not competing. In Australia, it is estimated that 453,000 people are blind or have low vision, but there are no solid statistics on Braille literacy here. The study conducted by the Royal National Institute for the Blind, or RNIB, in the UK in 2015, found that there are about 350,000 registered blind or visually impaired people, and 7% use Braille. A report by the National Federation of the Blind in the US in 2009 found that only 10% of blind children learn to read Braille. That is fucking terrifying. Could you imagine as a parent just being like say your kid has autism or ADHD or something, right? And they're functioning still. Like, they're not nonverbal or anything. It's they're high functioning. They have a bit of they have some issues, right? And you're just like, you know what? My kid's got a learning disability. I'm not going to teach them how to read or write. They can just use a computer and listen. And they can just use Dragon. Could you imagine if only 10% of people with ADHD could read? Could you imagine if only 10%... What the fuck? Could you imagine if only 10% of deaf people could read? Nobody's going, oh, you're deaf? You don't have to learn how to read or write. What the fuck is this? Why? Why are parents and teachers making the decision, the conscious decision, not to teach children Braille? What kind of bullshit is that? We've got 3 different countries. One doesn't have solid stats. One of them, 7% of blind people use Braille. The other one, 10% of blind kids know Braille. What the fuck are we doing to blind people? Why is it blind people? Why? You know what? Why don't the rest of you just stop fucking reading? Why is it us that gets singled out as kids that we don't need to learn to read and write because our eyes don't work? What the fuck kind of nonsense is that? Holy fuck. The report estimated that at the height of its usage after being introduced as a universal code in 1932, only 50% of children learned to read and write in Braille. 50%! That's still half! That is still half! Why not all? What? This is bullshit. This is absolute bullshit. Why? Just because they're blind, they don't need to know how to read? Because their eyes don't work? Seriously. I have never heard of anyone as a deaf person, oh, well, I was deaf, so my parents never taught me how to read. Oh, I'm paraplegic, I don't know how to read. What the fuck kind of... I think I'm gonna have a fucking heart attack. Alongside technology bringing Braille into a new age and audience, advocacy groups have secured access to Braille in an increasing range of places and products. Recent moves have been made to continue integrating Braille from credit cards to Braille Lego. See, now the Braille Lego doesn't make sense to me. Unless you're gonna give us Braille instruction manuals? What's the Braille on the actual bricks of Lego going to do? Are the Lego bricks numbered to correspond to the paper instructions? Because if they are, you need to Braille the paper instructions too! You can't just Braille the Lego bricks. That's only half the story. It is now found on many everyday products, including indication packaging, signage, medication packaging, signage, and there is Braille software installed on Apple, Google, Microsoft, and Amazon devices. Where is there Braille on Amazon devices? Why? Because I'm thinking only because Fire tablets use the Android software, so that's gotta be why they're saying that. That's gotta be why they're saying that. But that is crazy. The city of Sydney installed Braille on 2100 street sign in the council area. That's cool. Something that Innes said would be a wonderful standard to see everywhere. Yeah, but if only fucking 10% of people read Braille, what the fuck is the point? Oh my god. How about we work on, instead of, ooh, hello, thank you for either the follow or the subscribe. But seriously, if we're going to spend money on Braille signage and Braille packaging and Braille Lego and Braille everything, how about we spend money on pushing Braille literacy first? Please? I think we're putting the cart before the horse. I'm just saying. I think we might be putting the cart before the horse here if we're going to be brailing things, but people can't read it. Holy shit! Holy shit, I knew Braille literacy was low, but I didn't know it was that low. Oh my god, my fellow blindies that know Braille, please, for the love of God, I never thought I'd say this before, but start being Braille evangelists. Have you heard the word of Braille? God damn, we need to fix this shit.